John Doe, the great American public, head of the family, voter, churchgoer, consumer, and prospect. That's our word for him. Same guy. He's important to you. His money keeps your kids in shoes, and my kids. You're seeing him as you're accustomed to seeing him, from this side of that show window. But have you looked through his side of that window lately? Give it a try. You figure you'd like to have a new car. In fact, if you're like most John Does, you want one so bad you can taste it. But it's a big step, a lot of money to spend. You're excited about it, but you're kind of scared too. You want to be sure you're right. And that guy in there, can you trust him? Will he tell you the truth? Will he give you a fair price for your car? Or is he just out to sell you any way he can? Well, that's what the picture looks like through John Doe's eyes, and that puts you in kind of a tough spot, doesn't it? You want to sell him, sure. That's your job. But you're a little fed up, too, with the corny jokes about the automobile salesman. Like every good professional salesman, you want to think that you're also doing him a service, filling a need, delivering value for his hard-won dollars, and seeing that he's satisfied with service after the deal, just as you want for yourself. Hear me, Dodge salesman. Hear me and remember, you have products for 1962 that you can sell with pride and confidence. They are, without exaggeration, and without hoopla, and without hokum, the finest automobiles that Dodge has ever built. The new lean breed of Dodge, the first of the action economy cars. Lancer. Dart. Polara 500. Cars you can sell, and proudly, because they give John Doe what he wants for his money, and what he deserves. I'd like to show you why, and prove it to you. See all this stuff? Looks like a table full of junk, doesn't it? Well, I got it together to help you remember the new features and improvements that make the new lean breed of Dodge such great cars. Always helps me to remember when I have sort of a hook to hang things on. Maybe it'll help you, too. All right, let's talk about what John Doe needs, wants, and should have in this car he's going to buy, and how your Dodge cars give it to him. Why the toy car? Let's take a look at the Auburn, a classic car. Compare this classic car with your new Dodge Dart. Notice the striking similarity in proportions. Long, sloping hood. Passenger compartment set well back on the body. Relatively short deck. A classic line. A beautiful line. And lasting beauty. Lancer, too, shows this classic continental look. It's a sporty and venturesome look, but it's a look of elegance, too. And it reaches its peak of perfection in the classic luxury of the Polara 500. The most beautiful car on the road for 1962, going away. They say that styling's a matter of individual opinion. Well, perhaps that's true to a great extent. But I keep thinking of the Auburn and the other great classic cars. Perfect proportion, pleasing lines. And those proportions, those lines are here in modern styling in the new lean breed of Dodge. Yes, beauty is important to John Doe, but he wants a great deal more. He wants action. He wants a car that puts his back hard against the seat when he steps on the accelerator. But being John Doe, he wants to swap stories with his friends about how many miles he gets to a gallon. Impossible combination? Not for Dodge. This is a pair of track shoes. It illustrates a point about the 1962 breed of Dodge cars that's important to you and to John Doe. Action economy. When a sprinter gets ready for a race, he wears the lightest shoes that he can get. The less he has to carry, the faster he can run, and the less energy he uses. Dodge engineers set out to make certain that the 1962 Dodge cars wouldn't be handicapped by dead weight, to take the fat out, to keep the muscle in. The transmission alone lost 65 pounds, for example, when it was made more compact. Its housing, aluminum instead of iron. Yet through modern design and production methods, Nothing was lost but weight. We made sure of that by running the transmission through the equivalent of years of service on the dynamometer. Proved to ourselves that no matter how hard John Doe drove, he couldn't even come close to matching the test we gave this transmission. We know it's right for him. We did that with every part, every component. We got every possible ounce of weight out of these cars, and without sacrificing an ounce of toughness or ruggedness or strength. But we did something else, too. We kept the hot power plants we had in them and made them even hotter. We took the six-cylinder economy slant engine that was already the leader in the industry and made it even better, with closer tolerances, improved fuel filtering, flood-proof float needle valve, and other improvements. We designed a new powerful slant 6 with an aluminum block for the Lancer, a real bomb of an engine for the John Doe who wants that extra zest for the road. We took our V8s, already the envy of every other car builder in the business, already among the best performing gas-savingest engines built, and made them even better. And then we put it all together, the fat gone, the muscles harder and stronger and better toned than ever, and ran it over 1,000,000 miles of electronic highways, up and down mountains, through sand and ice and mud, lazing along at 45, pushing the accelerator against the firewall, giving it 5 years of punishment in a matter of weeks, proving that this is, in very fact, the first of the action economy cars, proving that John Doe can have his cake and eat it, that he can have a car that jumps away from the start like a scalded cat, and handles like a sports car, and is so easy on gas you can hardly believe it. Action economy. That's not just a pat phrase. That's a new concept in cars, one that will have them all falling in line. If you've driven one, you know. Here's the hard-to-believe part of it. This means modern design gives you space. A minor miracle of engineering made it possible. Dodge engineers took out the dead weight, cut off the excess size, created a classic of styling, and somehow managed to keep comfortable passenger space, big luggage carrying capacity. Headroom, legroom, seat height, all the important comfort dimensions are equal to or better than last year's. And look how that transmission hump has gone down. That's just one more advantage of the lighter aluminum transmission. And that's true of all the new lean breed. Lancer, Dart, Polara 500. What more could John Doe ask? Action, economy, comfort. And there's more. You've seen this one before. And it's still the big difference, the big advantage in Dodge Ride. Torsion air, with torsion bars that soak up the bumps better than any spring ever devised for the front end of a passenger car. Dodge still has the best suspension system going. You can tell by driving it. But we weren't satisfied with that. We twisted it harder and oftener than any John Doe who will ever drive it. We proved for you, for your prospect, that torsion air is still the ride to beat, and that nobody's close in 1962. Yes, this is still your edge, and it's better than ever this year. You know what this is? Sure you do. It's a pyramid, a model of one that has stood on the Egyptian desert since before the birth of Christ. Dependability, that's what this means. Dependability, and dependability means Dodge. It's truer in 1962 than ever before. Brakes that adjust themselves automatically every time John Doe backs his car, that keep themselves perfectly aligned, perfectly safe. And they're big, powerful brakes that stop him fast and straight. Sealed chassis joints that John Doe can drive for 32,000 miles, 3 years for the average driver before he has to have them greased. And then only at 4 points. A fully unitized body that's tougher, more rigid, quieter, tighter, and lighter. That makes the 1962 Dodge Lancer and Dart and Polara 500 the strongest cars in Dodge history. The most thorough, most effective rust-proofing in the business. Your 1962 Dodge cars will give John in the business. Your 1962 Dodge cars will give John Doe years of service and stay beautiful. Some cars are dipped, some are sprayed. Dodge gets both. in several separate steps that put rust protection in every crevice and crack of the unibody. And we've gone even further for the 1962 models. We've added the extra protection of galvanized steel and rocker panels. We've aluminized the muffler in the 62 Lancer to make it 2 to 3 times more resistant to rust than ever before. We developed a new high-speed starter that turns the engine fast and positively, even at a bone-chilling 20 degrees below zero. We've developed an axial blower for our heater that puts more air through the system with the car standing still than our competitors do at 30 miles an hour. We've given John Doe a car that will serve him faithfully, safely, beautifully for years, wherever he lives, however he drives. Dependability, Dodge dependability. I've shown you a few of the engineering advances that make this phrase more important, more real to you and your prospect than ever before. There are many more, as you'll see today. Well, these are the things you have to sell. Remember them. Use them. Count them off on your fingers, all 5. John Doe wants beauty. Dodge gives him classic style. John Doe wants action and economy. Dodge gives him both. And for the first time in the same car. John Doe wants comfortable space and convenient cargo capacity. Dodge has managed to give him both in a lean, quick-handling, rakish car. John Doe wants a smooth ride. Dodge gives him torsion air, still the envy of the industry. John Doe wants dependability. Dodge means dependability. In 1962, more than ever before. The new lean breed of Dodge, without exaggeration, and without hoopla, and without hokum, the finest cars Dodge has ever built. Polara 500, Dart, Lancer. And now, Dodge salesmen, go out there and meet John Doe. Go out there and sell him. Sell him hard and with confidence and with pride. Sell him knowing that if you make him a customer, you make him a friend. Because you're selling him what he wants, what he needs, what he has a right to expect. You're selling him the best. Dodge.